I'm Jonathan, and welcome to my channel, Jonathan's Diamond Painting and Stuff. So it's that time of the week again. I'm doing my weekly progress update for the #FamalongUK event for Dat Fans UK Facebook group, where I'm doing Home is Where the Magic Is by Randal Spangler, a Diamond Art Club kit, and I'm just giving an overview of my progress and then having a chat about what's been going on with me over the last week. Okay, I will pan over the image in a minute, but just so you know, like last week, I've got this on the table at the moment, so when you see the pan, it will be including some of the progress that I've done during this session, maybe even a bit more, because I'm planning to do a bit more this afternoon as well, because I am so behind. I think I'm 3 days behind, or 3 squares behind, or rectangles, or whatever, because like I said about life getting in the way, I've been trying to prototype these matte things. My friend Sarah has been a little bit unwell this week, so I've been helping her and taking her to the hospital and stuff. So it's just been a bit of a funny week, which is fine. Life does get in the way, and it's the important things that matter, and I'll do anything for Sarah because she is my bestie, always will be, to be honest. And I love her to pieces. And if she asks me to do something, I'm there. Because that's what friends are for. So I'm just really really thankful to have her in my life. So big shout out to her and how much she does for me emotionally in supporting me and always being there. So yeah, I always like to return the favour when I can. So yeah, but yes, I've been running a little bit behind on this, and so it does frustrate me a little bit, just within myself, that I just get myself worked up, if I can't make that little bit of progress each day like I want to. But I'm trying to, be a bit more mindful, and just chill and enjoy the moment, and I mean, I'm enjoying watching my Buffy and my Will and Grace and a little bit of She-Ra every now and then, so it's just, yeah, and that obviously slows me down from physically watching stuff, so sometimes I put the audiobooks on. I mean, I've been listening to the new Slayers series, which is on Audible, which is a new Buffyverse series. So in the universe of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it has quite a few of the original cast. So that is really interesting. And obviously, because I'm not looking at it, it's a bit quicker for me to diamond paint with it. But I'm trying to eke that out a bit because it's like a 8 hour series. I think it's got about 8 or 9 episodes, I think. So I'm trying to listen to an episode a day. But I am really, really enjoying that. I've only watched 2 episodes so far, but it's been so good. And it's very immersive, even though it's only, in your mind. I mean, it does help. I don't know if you couldn't listen to this if you haven't watched all Buffy and Angel, because there's stuff, there's a lore and there's all the stuff going on. I mean, James Marsden, the guy that plays Spike, does a really good job of kind of like at the beginning of each episode giving you a recap of what's been going on, and he does a little bit of a recap of what's been going on with the world since the end of Buffy season 7. And I know it's been continued in the Dark Horse comic series, I think. So there is more seasons of Buffy there, I believe, but which I haven't actually read. But that's not really my thing. I'm not obviously the true Buffy obsessive because I've not read those comics, but obsessive enough to know pretty much everything else. So I hope anyway. But even I forget stuff. So yeah, so that is very enjoyable. But like I said, if you really want to get into that universe, I would highly recommend starting with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Obviously, the original season. They're all on Disney Plus at the moment, although I think the remasters there are quite horrendous. So I would recommend picking up an old run of DVDs. And they're quite cheap now if you get them pre-owned. I mean, we've got a really good company in the UK called CEX, and I think you can go. I think it's might be WeBuy.com. I think. I'll put the link below anyway. But basically, they do pre-owned DVDs, computer games, Blu-rays, etc. And you can actually go online, and I think they have a website, and you can actually look for what you want, and then pay for it online, and then they'll just deliver it to you. You know, and yeah, so it's really reasonable actually. So if you're after like something that's a bit older, you just look on there first rather than getting it on Amazon straight away, because sometimes these physical items, which I know it's a bit of my generation thing, because if you're quite young, you think, what on earth are you talking about? Why are you not streaming this, Jonathan? I'm a bit like that. We have our own system where we like copy all our TV shows onto it, so it's almost a bit like Netflix, but that's the way we roll. I like that, so but yeah, but like I said, I don't think the Buffy remaster has been done as well as it could have been done. On the and I think it's something to do with like the makeup and everything, and how the HD has been done. But the faces are very smooth particularly on the female characters. So it's just I find the DVDs more enjoyable. But yeah, that's just me. Okay. So I will do the pan now. So you can see how far I've come. I think I'm just about the same position of row down to what I was the week before. So like I said, I've not made the amount of progress I want to. So I think I've done about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 squares since I last saw you. So I'm a couple, 2 or 3 behind. I'll just do the pan, and then we'll do I'll change to the overhead camera, and then while I'm whipping, I'll have a chat to you. Okay. So first of all, I'm working with a new camera angle, which I think means that my head is unlikely to get as much in the way, but you might see a little bit of my face every now and then. But I think this will be easier for me to diamond paint, and you'll be able to see a bit more detail, hopefully. So that should all be good. Right, so like I said, last week I was around about here, I think, when I was doing the whip and chat. And so since then, I've worked all the way across this part of the house again. And this part of the house, and just generally now, is very, very confetti heavy. So it is much more slow going than it has been. So yeah, but I'm enjoying it. It keeps it interesting. Yeah, I love all the little details that are coming along. I mean, we had the reef here, the little heart shape on the inside. We had they've got all these like lovely ABs in the windows. Another couple of reefs here, and I just love the user's perspective. So these reefs are narrower than this reef, and it gives that perspective of the house. Forgive my voice. Struggling a bit with my chest. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, and I just love these trees as well. You'll see the top of it on this side. It's a beautiful snow-covered tree, and it doesn't look like much up close like that, but it really does look amazing when you step back at the appropriate distance. Oh, sorry, I just stuck the light on. Let me turn that off for a second. Here we go. Yeah, so, and now we are getting to the lower portion of the house. So this is where you've got that kind of trellis that's coming down, and you've got kind of like inner walkway with the windows, and so you've got these dark areas representing these arches, the darkness to give the tone of the inside of those arches to give that idea of depth, you know, and I really like that. You've got a little lantern on this side of the door, and I think there's another one on the other side, and then you just got this open door, and I think that is that the male character, like a Santa-like character, that is casting a spell, I think, and I think this might be part of the spell he's casting, I think, from what I remember. So yeah, so it is slow going, but really enjoyable at the moment, you know, because it's confetti, but it is, like I said, I'm not making as much progress as what I'd like, but I'm enjoying it, so that's the main thing. And if I finish this 3 days late, I don't think that's terrible, is it? So, right, before I start, let's just go over what I'll be working with. I'm back with my DAC pen at the moment, which is the something swirl. I can never remember the names of these. But it is a bit of washi tape in both. At some point I will glue a couple of these, but I've got another one of these pens on the way. Yeah, and I think I'll probably glue a single in one end and a larger one in the other end of several pens. I've also one of my friends has just ordered from a company called, well, I think a man called Norse Alchemist, in, I think it's Denmark. Forgive, it's at least a Scandinavian country. But yeah, and his pens are absolutely amazing. And well, the blanks he uses look incredible, and some of them can get quite expensive. And because I've had such bad luck with pens, I decided that I'm going to order the cheapest I could. So I think I got a blank for about £10. His turning fee, which is 24, which isn't too bad. And the shipping was £6, so it was all very reasonable. About £40 for a pen, and he has options for thin, medium thickness, or thick thickness, and lots of different options of how many notches you want in it. You know, so I'm really hoping that pen is the one for me. My friend, who also struggles with thick pens and heavy pens, said it is a thin pen and it has a good weight. Similar to the DAC pen, actually. I think these are about 24 grams, and I think the one she had was about 28 grams. So I'm hopeful that it'll work for me, you know, and if it does, I'll certainly be buying more for him. In fact, I might be asking my husband to get me a much nicer pen with a gorgeous blank, which is not as cheap as that one, you know, for Christmas maybe. You know, so but I will keep you updated and let you know. Okay, I'm working with my normal tweezers with the squishy on the end, and just to give a little bit of shout out to Kat, who continuing to make these fantastic putties. This one she's just brought out. It's called Believing Magic. It's a bit of a subtle scent, but I do like it. I'm rubbish at picking out flavours, but it's some slightly sweet with some floral bits in it, I think. But yeah, I do definitely get the sweet undertones. And it does feel a bit magical, just with the lovely, beautiful colours, the purples and the greens. I just think that's gorgeous, you know, and I love the little bits of glitter she puts in it as well. It just gives it that elegance, you know, it's so professionally done. I just love, love, love her things. And the putty works so well. I mean, I'm still working with, I think this is lemon buttercream, and I changed that about 2 or 3 days ago, so I'm still working with that. I think it's almost due to be changed, but just a quick press over on the putty, and it's working again, you know. So, I mean, the single placer one I do change more, but the multiplacers last for a long time. And I also got these beautiful colour minders from her. And yeah, they're absolutely lovely, very functional. I don't really use colour minders all the time. Sometimes I use them to bring down these corners, you know, or the release papers if the release papers are coming off a bit too much to my liking. But it's more of a collectability thing for me. And I thought I'd love a couple of Halloween ones, and these are just little, gorgeous, cute little things, you know. So I love them, you know. So and I just love Kat, the stuff that Kat does, you know. So do check her Etsy page out, which I will try and link below. And Kat also has a advent calendar coming. Don't know if she'll be telling me about this or not because the quantities of it are going to be very limited. But that will be going on sale, I think, either very late November or early November. She has a Facebook page. Just search for Kat's Diamond Painting. And you can keep up to date with all her latest updates on that. Okay. I'm still trying out my matte thing. We're still prototyping. Like I said, we had a bit of a bad week last week. So I've not got the final one here, but I want to put some non-slip fabric, like in strips, either side, on the underside. And then under those strips in these four corners, I'm going to try and put a magnet embedded inside. And then it'll be supplied with another magnet that you can put some magnets underneath. Okay, so yeah. Right, so what was I doing? Okay. So, oh yes, I'll just go over this as well. So this is actually the top of my art dot storage drawer unit. But I thought this was quite useful for being able to store all my Lunia confetti boxes. So I've showcased these before in a review, and like I said in the review, I had a few reservations, but to be honest, I think I have been won over. I still stand by the stuff I stood by before, that they're obviously not going to be for everyone. There are issues with these trays being quite small, so for lots and lots of big multi-placing, I probably would still go from the pot, but I don't think I would have the big blocks of colours in these, or I'd have a few of the drills in these, so when you're doing a small amount of colour for them, but keeping it in the pot as well, for really big sections of colour. But I think you can have a system where you're doing both, because sometimes when I've just got a few bits of colour, it's so easy to just pop these in, open, and then get going straight away. Than it is if you're opening the pot, pouring them in, and then doing a few, and then pouring them all back in the pot, screwing the lid back on. And these are just so much easier for that, I find. And as you can see, I've used my label maker to make some lovely clear symbols for them. You know, so they're really, really good for me to find them quickly. And I find this, I've just repurposed this as my little palette tray sort of thing. And I think if I got loads more of these and I had loads more of them on the go, I could actually turn them this way, and I think I can get 40 in this one alone. So I'll be able to actually get a lot of colours in this. To be aware, these can open a bit easily sometimes, so you have to be careful when putting them away. Yeah, and they are a bit of an acquired taste, you know. I thought I would give them a chance, and they have won me over, but that's me personally. We all work in very different ways, you know. So some things that are good for some people might not be good for others, you know. So I'd urge you just to try one of the cheapest sets. I probably recommend going for the set of 10, just to give you a bit, because I think you can get a set with 3, but I think you need a few more colours just to see if you like it or not. And then, and that's about £32 or something like that, I think, plus shipping. So yeah, just have a play with it if it's something you think you might want to do. But yeah, I've totally been won over by them. I had a little bit of an issue. I ordered 60 plus an extra 10, but I asked instead of the full 10, could I have another 2 trays? Now, I got one of the trays was this colour. I'd asked for a blue one and a red one, and this tray is fine, fantastic quality. But I got another tray, a red tray, but the red tray, I think it was the first time they'd used the filament, and it just wasn't producing the the best quality for the lines and everything. And James at Lunia said, "Oh yes, that was the first time we'd used that tray. I'm sorry about that," and he is going to rectify that. Also, I had an issue that every delivered it, but they somehow the order got damaged in transit. They didn't say anything to me that it had. I didn't realise, and then it came in three basically plastic bags, and it was wrapped just in a bit of paper inside the two plastic bags, and only 26 of the 60 plus boxes that I'd ordered actually arrived. And when I contacted James at Lunia, he showed me the picture of the box that was sent, which was certainly not what I received. So, but he's been fantastic, really, really good, and obviously, customer service is really important to me, and things go wrong, and that's absolutely fine. I don't mind that. It's just what companies do afterwards, and he's been really, really, really good. He's got a show on this week coming, I think, so he's probably not going to be working on the replacements until after that, but I appreciate that, because I appreciate you've got to have stock made up for shows, and he's got to go out there promoting his products, so yeah, I can't say anything bad about them. Everyone has issues with shipping every now and then. So and I think he's going to put a claim in with every on his side, because that's just really not good enough that they did that. It's fine if those sorts of things happen. That they should have been open and honest about that it had happened, and maybe I sent it back to Lunia, or when they sent it to me, when they gave it to me, just say, "Oh, by the way, this has been damaged in transit. Do you still want to accept it, or whatever?" Just so we knew, But instead of trying to act like nothing had gone wrong, So and contacting Every was very, very difficult. I could only contact them through the automated systems. I wasn't actually able to speak to a physical person. So, it was the delivery is late, and that's obviously because it had been damaged, and they were trying to rectify that. But in this day and age, and it's so difficult to speak to people, I think, so it was a bit disappointing, and so I was disappointed in Every. And recently, actually, most of the orders I've ordered through them have been really, really good and have come, and this is the first time in quite a while I've had a problem. So, yeah, but hopefully when James contacts them and gives them all the pictures I've sent him and everything, that will be dealt with appropriately, and this sort of thing will hopefully not happen again. But yeah, I'm getting used to these, and so I'll be using them today. Okay, I'm just going to turn the light board on. This light board has an amazing function that you can lock it on, so that you don't accidentally keep pushing that. Not that I'm going to be pushing that anymore. I think this flicking down was setting it off. Okay, so I'm just going to do a few of this confetti around here, and we'll start chatting. Okay, so where to begin? I actually have a little list. Yes, so DAC updates. So there's been some discussion in the VIP group and some announcements from DAC, which I'll go through now. So basically, Diamond Art Club have been receiving a lot of complaints about the fact that the cover minders keep arriving damaged. Basically the magnets keep coming off mostly, but I wasn't aware of it. But they've apparently had a really, really high volume of complaints and warranty claims for this for these faulty cover minders, and it's been creating a very, very disproportionate amount of use of their customer service time, which obviously they don't want to be using on more valuable things, you know, rather than having to deal with these claims all the time. So unfortunately, and I know a lot of others are disappointed, but they are deciding to retire the cover minders. So we won't be getting any more cover minders. Just gonna take this place off for now. Yeah, we won't be getting any more cover minders, but I think it's not phased out yet. It's phasing out in the next 6 months, I think. But another bit of positive news is that one of the reasons they're getting rid of the cover minders is because they've developed yet again that have developed something new and exciting. And that is the canvases are being upgraded yet again. So, as some of you may know, DAC have been improving their canvases since they began, and such is the case that if you have an old canvas with old drills, they've improved their drills as well. It's quite a difficult experience if you're used to the modern ones. So yeah, so it's so I mean they've gone tighter on the grids. They've improved the drill sizes. So just everything fits a lot more neatly. You get less gapping, and it's just a more enjoyable experience. So but they've just improved the canvas yet again, and it's going to include a new plastic or well filmed sheet which has perforations on it. So basically, that means that if you like using the cover minders to peel back, or you like sectioning the cling film with the washi and then you cut a little bit at a time, that will be a thing of the past, because you will just be able to perforate and peel off the cling film, and then you'll be able to put it back again if you've not completed your whole square, and it works both ways, I think. So you won't have the thing where if you put it down the wrong way, it will stick to the canvas and be difficult to get off, you know. So it's a really, really, really positive change. So I think that's a really good thing to look forward to. I'm a bit on the fence as to whether that will change the way I work or not, because I do love the way that I can have a bit of a surprise when I use the release papers each time. So I'm not sure whether I will use it or not, but DAC have been very clear that it's not it doesn't have to change the way you work. You can still remove the whole film like you always could, you know. So I'm a bit on the fence about how I'll do it or not, you know. So I've not decided yet, you know. So I just but yeah, I think it's exciting for a lot of people though. And the other thing was, with the disappointment with the cover minders, they have said that they want to keep that excitement element of like kind of getting a new toy each time you open a kit. So they are planning to replace it with something. None of us quite know what that something is going to be, but obviously it's very exciting to think that we are going to get something new to replace that element of like surprise, you know, with each kit, you know. Oh, sorry, this one's not quite got in. Yeah, so yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that change. And yet again, that keeps surpassing us, thinking they can't get any better, and they keep on getting better, you know. So yeah, I've got nothing but positive things to say about them, to be honest, about this. So yeah, so that's the DAC news. I'll talk about my upcoming plans towards the end of the video. I've talked about Lunia 3D. Sorry, I'm just going through my list because I keep forgetting what to talk about sometimes. I just got a diary, actually. That's one of the things that's changed this week. I was really struggling to organise myself to know what to do and when. And with my ADHD symptoms, which I'm waiting for a diagnosis for, I struggle sometimes to organise my time and figure out what I'm doing. And even though I'm off sick at the moment, I am trying to do quite a few things, you know, just to keep my depression from setting in, and I have plans with Sarah. I have things I need to actually physically do. I mean, we have things like going for COVID jabs and flu jabs, and then we have sewing days, and you know, so I just need to organise all those things, and what I want to do and when. I have cleaning that I do in the house, so I just wanted to be organised with all that, and so I was really really amazed really by how much that changed things. Just having a physical diary and not having it all in digital form, because I found it a bit difficult to be organised. I can like set like odd reminders and things, which is good, but a second, but I didn't really I didn't really find it easy to look at my week as a whole that way. So yeah, so I've got a diary, and having that physical item I think has really really helped. It even has, the one I've got has like a monthly planner at the beginning of every month as well, which I think is really useful to give you kind of an overview of the month. And Yeah, but it's been really, really, really good for me. And it's like when I've needed to, like, I think one of my friends offered to take us out for lunch for mine and Sarah's birthdays because she's just come back from Mallorca, um, and um, and so organising things like that, and I'm able to look at the week as a whole, and decide, what we're doing. So yeah, so we're just trying to decide what to sorry, just helping me with those decisions, and I know it's such a simple thing, but just being able to be organised, and I'd like to think that I could continue it, like when I get back to work, just to make it a bit easier for me to organise my time when I'm at home. So yeah, that's something positive. I've I've had my counselling. Um, my anxiety's just about under control this week, to be honest. I'm trying to think what I talked to my counsellor about. I think it was just more about all the balance of me trying to do all these little mat things that I'm designing on the sewing machine without trying to go all big and turning it into a whole business venture like I tend to do with these things, and just being realistic, but at the same time trying to um, be as passionate as I can with these things without going over the top, because it is very difficult. I feel like I've got a lot to give to this world, in the way of my creativeness, but I don't feel I have the physical gifts of actually utilizing those into something that's actually feasible for me to actually survive financially. I kind of need to be paid by someone, I think, which is difficult, but which often involves doing a job I don't always want to do. But anyway, I'm getting there. I decided definitely that I want to go back in January, and yeah, so I'm trying to make plans for that, for my eventual return, and just how I'm going to cope when I go back. I am thinking of other job options after I go back, because I'm thinking long term. I'm not sure whether I could stay in my job that I'm in. Um, so I'll be okay for a little while, but I think I need to be thinking about what I want to do instead. But yeah, so yeah, but there's not really a lot to talk about with my with that this week. I am still suffering with my chest. I had my appointment with the GP. It was actually only a telephone consultation, but I was explaining how I'm having all these I'm coughing up stuff off my chest, and I don't know. I don't know if there's anything more to it, I've been struggling with chest infections almost every year. I struggle to um do meet up in crowds in the in like the winter months because I'm so scared that I'm just going to get another infection. And yeah, unfortunately, it can happen quite easily. And have actually had two since I went off sick. So, and this second one, I don't know whether it's an infection or not now because I'm coughing up stuff every day. But I do sputum samples and nothing comes back on them. So anyway, my doctor has referred me to the chest clinic like I asked him to because I just felt it needed looking into more, given that they're not finding anything on the samples. Um, so we'll just have to see where that goes. You know, I'm hoping that we get somewhere, but we'll just have to see. But yeah, but I will keep you posted. It's very frustrating. I don't feel ill. I don't feel unwell at all. It's just annoying, you know. But and you always have to worry if you have got something, like, are you passing it on to people, you know, and stuff, you know, which obviously I do not want. And I've got my young nephew, you know, which I guess he's a child though, so he's quite resilient and will be catching things and everything, and he needs to catch things to kind of build up his immune system and stuff. But I don't want to unnecessarily put people at risk, so you know, I want to get that sorted. So we'll just have to see where that goes. Anything else? So my husband Alan, he won the battle of the Hocus Pocus Lego house, and he's building it at the moment. He's but he's missing diamond painting now, so that's quite funny. But he is going to start Tabby Night next. I'm just going to go and get his Spring Shine that he's just finished. Okay, so there we go. Trying to get that angle right. So this is Spring Shine. Isn't it beautiful? It's just like, could you pick a more difficult first diamond art project than this? You know, but it's beautiful. It's like a tree with some birds on. You can see little details, and the leaves all have ABs in, and yeah, so he really enjoyed it, but I think he's looking forward to one with a bit more colour next time, so he's going to start on Tabby Night. You know, so yeah. So anyway, but yeah, I thought I'd show you that. I'll probably try and put it on my Facebook page. Just let me zoom you in again. Anyway, yeah, so really pleased that he's enjoying this hobby. Not quite as much as me. Well, not even anywhere near as much as me, you know, but it's just but it's good to see him doing it and enjoying a craft, a hobby, you know, because he doesn't have many hobbies, you know, and yeah, and most of the hobbies he does pick up from me. I mean, I did Lego before he started it, you know, so he does tend to nick my hobbies, but sometimes I am shameless in trying to get him into things though, so yeah, I'm just as much to blame as him, I think. But yeah, so yeah. I'm trying to think about getting ready the Christmas soon. You know, it's mainly things like the Christmas baking and everything that's I've got to start it. I really have, but I've keep putting off getting all the ingredients in, like all the dried fruits and everything, because I make several cakes a year. I use a British home cookery cook called Delia Smith, who is absolutely amazing, and she makes the easiest recipes to follow, which are fantastic and always come out each time. Everything is just easy to understand. There's no faffing with complicated things to do something. So yeah, she's really my go-to for Christmas and for a lot of home baking as well. You know, so I really love her books, and I love her Christmas. You know, I've got two of their Christmas books, and she's retired now, but she did do lots of TV shows for the BBC, which is a broadcasting organisation in the UK, which I'm sure it's well renowned over the world, so I'm sure you know about it wherever you are. But yeah, so it's just trying to get my head in that space. I keep thinking, oh yeah, after Halloween, I'll be able to think about it then. But I don't know. It's just I guess I've got a bit of a block about it at the moment, because I don't want to think about it. But I should. I really, really need to. So, what have your plans all been regarding Christmas? Have you even started yet, or are you like me and you've not even thought about it? Yeah, I'd be really interested to know. But yeah, and of course, it's not just the cakes and everything. It's the presents and the preparation and the Christmas cards and everything. And yeah, I think my head, I'm struggling to get it in the right place to actually think about all that right now. But I know I need to, 'cause I'm like kind of the person that organises a lot of that stuff, like the presents and the cards and everything. Alan takes a bit more of the back seat to all that sort of stuff. It's kind of my job to do all that. So, but then he does a lot around the house as well, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, so just need to organise that. But yeah. So I guess I should do my movie review. Now, because I had such a bad, unproductive week, and I was out almost all yesterday, taking Sarah to hospital and stuff, I decided that we weren't going to watch a movie last night, and Alan was absolutely fine with that. I mean, I often worry at the moment that we are spending a bit less time together than we were, and is that okay? But then my husband keeps reassuring me he likes that because he likes his space, and almost our whole relationship, I've like wanted to spend much more time with him, and now I'm finally like in a place where I kind of like my own space as well as spending time with him. So he's really, really happy with that at the moment. So I'm relieved that it's not like thrown us further apart or anything, because I don't think it has. We're still really, really close emotionally. So it's been quite good for us. I think I've had a kind of a reawakening, I guess, about what's important in life, and having this kind of mental space to myself and letting him have his mental space to himself, but also, not neglecting each other and spending that time together when we can, so yeah, I'm kind of enjoying this beginning of whatever this is, this part of my life, I suppose, just being aware of that you can change and you can change it up. But just because you've done something a certain way doesn't mean you have to do it that way forever, so yeah. But because of that, we didn't watch the film because I just hadn't got much of my diamond painting and I really wanted to do it. So I did it, but I have seen a film this week. Now, I'm not going to talk about anything really very gory, but I am going to review the film that I saw. Saw. Yeah, so I saw 10. Or Saw X, depending how you want to read it, But this is, this is a series of movies that not everyone will be into because it is very gory. And it doesn't really hide much from the camera at times. But the premise of these films is that there's a guy called Jigsaw. Well, his real name is John Kramer, but he basically tests. Well, he gets people to play games, and it's basically really brutal games. And it's often about morality and he views certain people that have done some terrible things in their lives, and they need an awakening to come to terms with the fact that they're not doing the right thing, and their moral compass is totally gone skew-whiffed, and it's his job to get them on the even keel, if you know what I mean. And it sounds very horrific, and he does it in very horrific ways, but he never actually physically kills people himself. It's like people always have the choice, so, but it's a very brutal choice. So yeah, I mean, you can sympathise with his character a lot, but I won't go into anything more than that for the brutality, because I don't want to like put you off or anything, But if you like gory things, and it's got with a good story and everything, I would recommend it. This one had a lot of really, really good, insightful things in it. I mean, it was to do with like coming to terms with a palliative diagnosis, the lengths you'll go to try and find a cure, and just dealing with kind of I guess fraudsters and charlatans and things like that, and what you could do if you could, I guess, punish those people that were responsible for those awful things. So it's got some really, really good themes in it, I feel, So but I would highly recommend it. But like I said, without actually revealing anything, which I don't really want to do, because all I'll say is it's had really, really good critic ratings as well. I don't usually follow them, but it also got a really high audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's got really a fresh rating, which is very good and is often unheard of nowadays. Usually critics love something and the audience don't, or the other way around. So the fact that both do, and a lot of people say it's a return to form. It takes place between like a couple of the films of the series earlier on, because the John Kramer, the guy that plays Jigsaw, actually. Well, no, I'm gonna let you. Well, I'm not gonna say anything because basically I don't want to ruin it if you're gonna watch the whole series. So yeah, but I would recommend it, but obviously start from the beginning. And start with the first Saw film, and you can see if it's something you like, But yeah, I mean, I love the catharsis of kind of coming to terms with those scary moments, and just being scared, and terrified of something, or just having that experience. Really, it's not just about when you're happy; it's about when you're horrified as well, and you think the choices people make under these really, really arduous situations, what people will be prepared to do to survive sometimes, and sometimes when people aren't willing to make these horrific choices, even if their life is at stake, and you really find the character of certain people, when it comes down to that. So I do like all those sorts of themes, so yeah, so it's not just about a gory film. It's had quite a lot of negative things said about it in the past, like it's kind of scare porn, or just stuff like that. But I think it's really, I think it's really well done, and this film was incredibly good actually. So highly, highly recommend that. But it's not the weak stomached. There was actually a thing that Sarah sent me saying that people in America have been handed sick bags because it was so horrific that people were being sick. And so I thought, really? And I was just thinking that must be a marketing ploy. So I asked the attendant on the way in, and I said, has anyone been sick in this film? And she's like, no, not that I know of. And I was like, oh, and I told her about the thing about the Americans. And then she's like, no, I don't think so at all. And I said, I'm sure it's a marketing ploy. It must be a marketing ploy just to get more people to watch it. But anyway, I was no even close. I didn't have I did not have my eyes on the film the entire time. I will admit, I had my hands in front of my eyes, just like in with your kind of fingers apart, as you do when you were a kid, sometimes because I couldn't watch some of the horrific things all the way through, but that's just me. But I still enjoyed it, but I'm not, and I don't think my friend Jane could watch it or have her eyes on the screen the entire time either. But it's not that sort of film, where you can, but yeah, it's well, if you're a really hard soul, I guess you could, but yes, but yeah, that's because so obviously I don't want to give things away. That's probably as much as I'm gonna give away on that one. But yeah, hopefully me and Ellen will watch a more general film, which I can give a more thorough review of. But that is what I saw this week. Ha ha! I did it again. Ha ha! I saw. So I think we're actually probably getting up towards our time because I think I did spend a little bit of time on the beginning section. So I'm kind of wrap it up in a minute. I was going to give you a little bit of an overview of what the rest of the year is going to look like for me. I think I've given you a few ideas already, but I thought I'd just reiterate what my plans are. So I'm going to be doing this one until it's done, which I'm hoping will be by the end of October, if not very, very early November. And I've ordered the frame for this already, and we're getting a silver frame for it because it's going in our hallway, which has grey and cream in it. So we're hoping the silver frame will set it off nicely with the darker tones, then so I'll be working on that until it's done, and then I'm hopefully going to pick up Solar System again in November. And I'm hoping to finish that before the 1st of December. In between that, I'm hoping to unbox one of the paint gem kits. I got the Christmas paint gem kits, and I also got the Plants one for my friend Sarah. I got the Rainbow edition, and I got the Mystery edition as well. So I will hopefully do an unboxing and kitting up of the Christmas one as we're getting into November and closer to Christmas, just to just to get more in the feel of the season and everything, and just as we're getting closer to Christmas, I'll start doing some of them as well. But I think once we get into December, most of my time is going to be taken up with the Christmas Advent kit from Diamond Art Studio, and I'm really, really excited about that actually, because I've never done a Diamond Art Studio kit, and I love the look of the company, and I've heard really good things about customer service, so I really, really want to give that company a chance. The only reason I've not used them wasn't a design that quite spoke to me yet. I am thinking highly of doing the oldie sweet shop. The only thing putting me off is I have got a lot of projects to do, so I don't want to overdo it, and how much I have. But on the other hand, Christmas is coming, you never know. But yeah, so I'm just not quite 100% sure yet. So I'm just thinking about that. But yeah, so those things will all take me through to the end of the year, I think. I might do the odd unboxing in between all those things, because I've got a few to unbox. But I've got like Springtime Splendor, I've got the House on the Cliff. Have I got anything else to unbox? I think those might be the only ones. I am excited for what Diamond Art Club might bring out for their Christmas releases this year, because I haven't got any other Christmas main big kits apart from this one, which is a little bit Christmas theme. And obviously the Advent one that I've got coming. So I'm really excited to see what they'll bring out this year. There was one I absolutely loved from the past called Christmas Morning, but unfortunately that one is not available anymore. And and will not be coming back. So I'm hoping there'll be a similarly nice Christmassy, colourful Christmassy one coming out this year that I can get. And I am also on the lookout for Autumn Magic, which is the autumnal version of this. It's a beautiful, another big house again, but I really liked that one. So hopefully, I imagine that might come out on Black Friday weekend, but we'll see. And I've not done a Black Friday yet, so I'm intrigued to see what kits will come out then. You know, that I can spend all my money on. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna carry on with this. And hopefully finish this square this afternoon. But I think I've got to go on mow the lawn now. So I will bid you adieu, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.